Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and I'm flying solo in this video. Geeky Sparkles is helping Mama Sparkles with her Christmas orders. But we're going to talk about Dave Filoni claiming that Rian Johnson was his master, his mentor. He showed him how to film live action scenes. Of course, Dave Filoni moving from animation into live action. And this is really interesting because it does seem to show that things are probably not going to change very much at Lucasfilm. That as much as fans would like to think that Dave Filoni is on their side, it does appear that he's on Team Rian Johnson and Team Kathleen Kennedy. Now, Jon Favreau, on the other hand, does seem to be a little bit more pro-fan, I guess. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how the High Republic might get an animated series. Why the hell they're pushing this when the reaction was not very good is beyond me, but there it is. That's Hollywood, right? They give us what we don't want. Now, before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, we're over 150,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. And if you go out to Twitter, you'll see that Geeky has been posting pictures of toys. She's been buying kids for the toy drive this year. We do live in an area that's economically challenged during normal years, and especially during 2020, things have been pretty bad, and she's been giving back as much as she can. She's actually donating all the proceeds from her shop for the next couple days anyway are going to this toy drive. We've been buying toys for kids on the Angel Tree through the Salvation Army. I'm going to put a link in the comments at the top of the comments. I'll pin it. And you can see all this stuff. Now, this is actually our convention stuff. We did conventions for a number of years, and Geeky sold pillows and crafts and that sort of thing. And it's been, a blessing to us to be able to, make extra money when we needed it with this stuff. And the con scene's down this year, and Geeky thought she would offer up some of her own stuff as well as some of Mama Sparkle's pouches to benefit kids in need. So think about it. Even just watching this video helps because we have been kicking in some of our own money as well. All right, so here we go. The Mandalorian's Dave Filoni claims The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson trained him. Always two there are, no more, no less, a master and an apprentice. No, it's really interesting to read this because there's been a lot of speculation that there's a civil war going on at Lucasfilm, and that might be the case to some extent, but I think a lot of fans thought that Dave Filoni, well, until recently that is, a lot of fans felt that Dave Filoni was in the pro-Lucas camp, sort of the anti-Kathleen Kennedy, anti-Rian Johnson camp, and given some of the comments he's made in recent years, and given his praise for Rian Johnson, I do not think that's the case. I think Lucasfilm, for the most part, is a unified company, and there might be George Lucas loyalists within the company. I think Jon Favreau, again, has made numerous comments about the fans, respecting the fans, but he seems to be a lone voice. A lot of people working at Lucasfilm right now seem to despise the fans, and trust me, we can feel it. We know. Rian Johnson was the one who kind of went on the offensive, calling fans man babies. Of course, he's the one who many people feel betrayed Luke Skywalker, betrayed the fandom with The Last Jedi, destroyed the character of Luke Skywalker. And, Lucasfilm kind of doubled, tripled down on attacking fans for a while after that movie came out. And then Disney tried to backpedal with The Rise of Skywalker. It wound up being a bigger mess, as I understand it. I still, to this day, have not watched The Rise of Skywalker because I was so disgusted by The Last Jedi. But the only goodwill they seem to have going for them at this point is The Mandalorian, which Dave Filoni is a producer on. And he did get his start working on Clone Wars and Rebels, and he gained a lot of fan cred. Clone Wars and Rebels they were both pretty good TV. They were good Star Wars. It seemed like he got George Lucas, but now he's getting Rian Johnson too. This is coming from piratesandprincesses.net. While The Mandalorian seems to be scratching that Star Wars itch for old school fans who were disenfranchised by Disney's sequel trilogy, Filoni reveals it was the director of that trilogy's most controversial installment that has been mentoring him in the ways of live-action directing. That's right, Rian Johnson has been giving Filoni some pointers behind the scenes. Found this out through Itchy Baka on Disney Star Wars is Dumb, and we're going to go out to Bounding in the Comics too. They have more information on it, but this YouTuber, OG Star Wars AB on Twitter, put a selection up from The Art of Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and this is what was said about Rian Johnson and Dave Filoni. Filoni's greatest education as a live-action director may have come on the set of The Last Jedi in early 2016. Filoni recounted that Rian Johnson had me right up next to him with the camera. He shoved lenses in my hand and said, "Look here. Look through here." He would bring me along to show me how to block out a scene. Rian was so supportive of my interest in doing live action, as was his producer, Ram Bergman. They really made me feel like this was something I could do. So he's thanking Rian Johnson for the opportunity to work in live action. And I said it's ironic that Johnson, who had received the ire of much of Star Wars fandom, not only for his mishandling of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi and for his Twitter attacks on fans, has had a hand in shaping how fan favorite Dave Filoni makes the transition to live action. Yeah, Dave Filoni's, he said some interesting things over the last couple of years. I guess if you want to use the term woke, then I think Dave Filoni has absolutely gotten woke, and we saw what happened with Freddie Prinze Jr. too. He was praising Dave Filoni up one side and down the other, and again castigating fans. This is a cultural thing at Lucasfilm. I firmly believe it. I think that this is sort of the mandate from on high, whether it's Kathleen Kennedy or whoever, maybe higher up the food chain at Disney, that the fans are meal tickets, and they'll buy whatever shit we give them. And you can say whatever you want to say. Just, if they're on the wrong side of history, then it's totally fine to attack them publicly, because they need to learn their place. Fans need to learn their place. But as we're seeing, sales of Star Wars merch are declining rapidly. And other than The Mandalorian, Disney doesn't have a lot of goodwill when it comes to the Star Wars franchise. They've definitely burned through a lot of fan goodwill. And even if the stuff's not terrible, the fact that Lucasfilm employees, seemingly having the blessing of Kathleen Kennedy and the higher-ups, have been out there denigrating fans for years. I mean, it's not good for business. And, we thought for the longest time that maybe Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were team fandom, and I don't think that's the case. I still think Jon Favreau is, but I do not believe Dave Filoni is. I think he's definitely in like Flynn with Kathy Kennedy, in like Flynn with Rian Johnson, and they will present a unified front against toxic fans if they have to. Of course, Filoni going on and on and on about feminism not too long ago, and how Leia should be the Obi-Wan character of Star Wars, not Luke. Defending the choice to have Rey and Jyn Erso as leads, that we need more women in Star Wars, which I agree. We do need more women in Star Wars, but it's not a zero-sum game either. And that seems to be what is irritating people, is just having a female lead just because she's not a man. Having certain characters just because they're not character type A, B, C, and the disdain for Luke Skywalker. Which, I'm sorry, it's very, very obvious that Lucasfilm hates Luke Skywalker. Maybe because people at Lucasfilm don't like George Lucas, But Filoni did a good job with Clone Wars. He did a good job with Rebels. But yeah, if you think he's on the side of the fandom, that it's guys like Filoni against other folks at Lucasfilm, like Rian Johnson, that he's going to defend fans, against the evil Rian Johnson and evil Kathleen Kennedy, you got another thing coming. That's not going to happen. Now, it doesn't mean The Mandalorian's bad. It doesn't mean that, Dave's work is bad. It doesn't mean that he's out there constantly attacking fans like some other people at Lucasfilm. But he's not going to take the side of the fans either. He's going to do what he's going to do. I mean, we've kind of already known this, but it is what it is. And this is a cultural thing, and every time they're shown, oh God, the hypocrisy. Here, this is the movie where Finn gets completely sidelined. That little oh my God, Rian Johnson is showing Finn the okay sign. That's not right. That's not right, Rian Johnson. What are you doing? No, I think he's actually showing John Boyega just how small his part is going to be in this movie. Teeny, teeny, tiny. Very, very small. You're going to have a very small part in this movie. The Chinese will barely know you're in it. That's what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, look, they triple down. Go back to the High Republic. The High Republic is literally everything that old school Star Wars fans have been saying they don't want. Do you remember this whiteboard? Diversity in dinosaurs. They literally had a whiteboard when they had a meeting for this High Republic thing. And this is everything that Star Wars fans were like, God, just tell a good story. Just tell a fucking good story. Tell a good story. We don't need to map it out on a whiteboard. We sure as hell don't want to put diversity above actual endings, feelings, and relatable characters. And fucking dinosaurs in Star Wars. I mean, okay, I guess you got the dewbacks are basically dinosaurs, right? Crate dragons, but whatever. It wasn't looking good when there's been a lot of talk about how Lucasfilm is doubling down on wokeness. But apparently they're going to get an animated series. So they're going to push this High Republic thing, whether or not the fans actually want it. And guys like Dave Filoni are going to be totally on board with it. They're not going to protect you from Lucasfilm. They're part of Team Lucasfilm. Jon Favreau is kind of doing his own thing. And if there is a civil war, I think it's probably him versus Kathleen Kennedy. And Favreau's got his fingers in a lot of other stuff too. But Lucasfilm, I don't think Dave Filoni is going to take the side of the fans. If it comes down to it, he's going to do what he's got to do. He's going to serve his master. Because you don't know the power of the dark side. New Star Wars animated TV shows reportedly in the works, according to reports. Lucasfilm and Disney are both currently developing 3 brand new animated series for Disney Plus in addition to The Bad Batch. At least one of the new series is based on the High Republic. Earlier this year, Lucasfilm announced a new publishing campaign called The High Republic, set in an era when the Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order are at their peak. Yeah, it used to be the Old Republic. Yeah, we got rid of that. About 200 years before The Phantom Menace, and of course is the one with Hot Yoda. They haven't officially announced it yet, but yeah, they're gonna triple down on it, guys. I don't know if Filoni's gonna be involved in this one or not. Maybe they'll get Rian Johnson to write a few episodes. I have no idea, but very interesting to see him give Rian Johnson a shout out in this Mandalorian book. Again, I think Disney knows how toxic Rian Johnson is to the fandom. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't care. And they'll take your heroes like Dave Filoni and they'll have Dave Filoni say things about Rian Johnson just so you know that you're the awful person. It's the gaslighting of the fandom. You're the awful person. It's not Rian Johnson. He didn't make a bad movie. You just didn't get it. You're too stupid. You're probably too white and male and privileged too to understand the beauty of The Last Jedi. It's just you, fans. You're the problem. The fans are the problem. I don't know. I hope Filoni does not go to the dark side, but I've pretty much given up on Star Wars. Even The Mandalorian, I haven't watched it this season. I was kind of into it last year. It took a while to get me back into it. I waited a few weeks and then we binged like 3 episodes or whatever. But I'm not really feeling it. I mean, I know people are saying it's pretty cool and all that. I think I've gotten to a point with Star Wars where I'm just kind of sick to my stomach about anything Star Wars because I have such negative feelings attached to it. And I never, ever, ever thought that I would reach that point. With Doctor Who, I'm just completely indifferent. I'm just completely numb to it. I'm like, yeah, it's dead to me, whatever. I'm even beyond angry. Like, I don't even give a shit anymore. Star Wars still hurts. Seeing what they did to Star Wars, it's a double whammy because we know how Disney is. And, so Disney has taken something that we loved, another thing that we loved, and they've wiped their ass with it. And they're going to continue to wipe their ass with it. And that's it. And even if they lose money, it's going to continue. It's never going to end unless they lose the IP, which might happen. If they get desperate enough, maybe they'll sell it back to George Lucas. Who the hell knows? I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you guys later.